Hey everyone, we're Donna and Casey, and we've been together for a long time. We haven't been everywhere, but it is on our list.
So, we bought a 2019 ProMaster cargo van. I outfitted it to a camper van, and with our dog Frankie, we hit the road. Thanks for joining us on our adventure.
Hello everybody. Today we're going to be in Green Bank, West Virginia.
Green Bank, West Virginia. That's where they have that great big radio dish, right?
Telescope, they call it.
Telescope. It's a radio dish. They call it a telescope. It is the largest in the world. You could get 2 football fields inside the dish, and it's the Green Bank Observatory and Green Bank Science Center. And the science they have there is just mind-blowing. It's a great place to visit. If you get the opportunity to go to Green Bank, West Virginia, stop by. Out in front of the observatory, they have the original radio telescope. It was built in 1937 by a fellow by the last name of Gerber?
No.
Gerber?
Reber.
He built it in his mother's backyard in Wheaton, Illinois, I think. And he was the only radio astronomer in the world for 10 years. But he was, with that telescope, he was discovering radio waves coming from galaxies out in the universe, and he was the first one to do it. That telescope is a national monument, and it's there in front of the observatory. And then we
which is in the middle of nowhere, kind of.
Yeah, in the middle
West
of nowhere.
Virginia, but it's they picked that place on purpose because you can't have anything interfering with these signals within, I think, a 10-mile radius.
Yeah.
So the people who live in that area, they have to use Ethernet instead of internet.
But the Science Center will pay for them to have Ethernet set up because they're not allowed to use Wi-Fi. It creates interference.
And they can't use microwaves either.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's other things that they can't use. But it's so fascinating. If you ever get a chance and you're in West Virginia, if you get a chance to see this, you definitely need to go.
Yeah. The frequencies they're picking out, radio frequencies and light frequencies. Light is a frequency, and visible light that we see, it's 2 or 3 frequencies that create visible light that we can see. And this telescope, I forget how many frequencies it detects, but just like thousands of frequencies, or hundreds anyway, that we would not know existed if it were not for this telescope. Another cool thing about what Donna was saying, that it's a interference-free zone, that 10-mile radius. They have a guy on payroll whose job it is to just travel around and try and identify interference, where it's coming from. And in one case, they tracked it down to someone who lived nearby, had a malfunctioning electric toothbrush. So the Science Center bought him a new electric toothbrush so it wouldn't interfere with their science. And when we were there were experiments, research going on from 7 different countries. We're doing research at this Green Bank Observatory out in the middle of nowhere in West Virginia. It's truly fascinating. So.
And also a shout out to my brother for putting Green Bank on a list of all the things we needed to see and do in West Virginia.
Yeah,
thanks,
you, Dan. All right, so on to the video. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Johnsy.
We love you.
Here's the Green Bank Science Center and Observatory.
It was Mr. Reber that built the parabolic telescope, and here is the actual telescope. Oh, and you got all the parts from a local hardware store. Infrared is not visible to the human eye. An infrared camera took this picture of Donna and I. This is one of the frequencies that the telescope can pick up.
Two football fields would fit on this dish.
This is really just a tiny portion of the super cool stuff they have at Green Bank, so hope you get to check it out sometime.
After Green Bank, we also traveled to Spruce Knob, which is the highest point in West Virginia.
Here we are hiking up to Spruce Knob, highest point in West Virginia. Got a half-mile trail to get to the observation point. The trees aren't very big up here. The harsh weather and winds keep them pretty small, as would be expected. We came up the back way, up the forest road. So that was a one-lane forest road with meeting cars going the other way. It was an exhilarating drive up. But there is a paved road that leads up this way too. So we're gonna go down that way. It's really windy up here.
Now we're on our way to Blackwater Falls State Park.
So this is the trail to Blackwater Falls. We're at Blackwater Falls State Park in West Virginia. If we walk over and look down the side of the hill, the river down there. It's encouraging. And who's that hiking this way? Oh, it's my lovely wife Donna, coming to see the falls with me. Hi Donna. Here we are at Blackwater Falls, West Virginia, Blackwater Falls State Park. We've been here in West Virginia for 2 weeks now. I think that's the longest we've been in any state. But we've been hitting a lot of their state parks. One reason is there's no charge to get into their state parks, which we think is really nice. And this is Donna's home state. Special meaning for us.
Thanks everyone for watching. I just really enjoyed being back in West Virginia. I've seen most of these places when I was a kid with my parents. They were always taking us all over West Virginia, but I didn't appreciate it quite as much. But I'm glad that I got to see all these places again. And thanks again to my brother for mapping out our route.